just on the off chance that you have not heard anybody say it yet, let me be the first. Let me be the conductor of the train. The train that reads all down the side of it. Hashtag fire Mark Helfrich. I swear to God. What's going on, everybody? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to another edition of Sports Sunday, where we talk about sports life and everything in between as we walk into the 9th game against the Ghastly Monsters. And I really want Oregon's head coach to be fired. It may not have to be today. It may not have to be tomorrow, even though that would make me feel better. But it's got to happen at some point this season, at the very least at the end of it, because we have now reached a point where he is causing Oregon to lose games now, because he's coaching like a fucking idiot. he has, like, completely gone insane. He in that game, for those of you that don't know the pretext here, Oregon lost to Nebraska 35-32, a game in which, and you guys can disagree with me all you want, you know, Nebraska fans out there or whatever, Oregon should have easily won that game. With a couple minutes to go in the second quarter, they were ahead 20-7, and they were in a situation where they had the opportunity to blow that thing wide open. And had they, scored one more touchdown before the half, they would have been ahead, 26 or 27-7, and that game would have been more or less out of reach. But no, Oregon decides to shoot themselves in the foot for the next, 32 minutes of game time, and effectively pissed the thing away and lost 35-32. And one of the main factors that played into this was the fact that every single time that Oregon scored a touchdown, for whatever fucking reason, Mark Helfrich decides, you know what, instead of kicking extra points like any regular team on this planet would do, I decide that we're going to go for 2 every single time because it worked the first time, and we're going to commence in going for it every single time, even though it did not work any other time outside of the first one. And had they kicked the extra point on all the other touchdowns that they scored, like, I'll give them the first one. Okay, you got the 2-point conversion to work on the first time. And that's fine. They do it like every game, whatever. But every time after that, they usually kick the extra point. Had they decided to play like they normally do and kick the fucking extra point like a regular person... Oh, let's time this. Here we go. We're gonna get thrown out. We may not get thrown out. We made it. Alright, good stuff. Had they decided to kick the extra point like regular people would have, they would have, instead of being down by 3 with, a minute and a half to go, and needing to, march all the way down the field to try to score to win the game, they would have been ahead by 1 instead. It would have been 36-35. But no! Mark Helfrich decides, let's be like the kid that plays Madden, that whenever they score, they always go for 2, whether it's been working for them all day or not. We're just going to continue going for it for 2, and it's never going to work. Granted, one of those times I think that it may have worked and they just didn't call it, but that's besides the point. The point is, when you know that something's not working, then fucking stop doing it. It's ridiculous. And so, at this point, he just needs to be fired. Oregon losing is a direct reflection of his coaching gaffes, of his inability to adapt and make smart decisions as a football coach. And these things have been slowly piling up more and more every season, and their win totals are going down every year. Granted, they still, they went from being an 11-win team, or like a 12-win team his first year, to winning 9 games, the following season. It's getting just a little bit worse every time. And, the part that sucks is that this team is supremely talented. Maybe not necessarily on defense, but they're improving. And the offense still has, arguably one of the most talented rosters available in the nation. But they always do so many stupid fucking things that lose the games for them. Had they not made so many simple mistakes, they would have easily won that game. But they always find ways to do this stuff. And you know what? Maybe people are going to look at this that are Oregon fans, maybe the 1 or 2 of you guys out there that actually watch these videos, and maybe you guys will look at this and be like, he's being, overly emotional about it because the loss is still fresh. But I have been the guy that has defended Mark Helfrich time and time again. He is totally out. Oh my god. Tie goes to the runner, I guess. I have been a guy that has defended Mark Helfrich to the bitter end through all of his, you know, weird things that seemingly make no sense. I have been the guy that has defended him to a fault every single time. And this was the moment that broke me. This game was the moment that finally broke me, where I realized, look, he might be a good coach. He's not a great coach, but he is also the wrong coach for this team. Like, this type of stuff cannot happen anymore. They have to get rid of him. They have to find somebody that's going to instill some fucking fire in this group. Because, like, you could see, and we've seen it over the last, you know, couple of years, in the games that they lose, when they go down, outside of a couple situations, it's like all the fire just immediately exits the building. It's just like all of a sudden it seems like they just check out completely. And then they'll try to, you know, valiantly fight back on offense, and, you know, they'll finally make some plays, but it's like, why does it have to come to that point? Why can't you just make the plays? And so he just needs to go. That's the point. The point is, if they don't fire him, Oregon is going to continue sliding the wrong direction until they finally slip into pure obscurity, which they're already on the brink of doing right now. This will have been the second straight season in which they have been, you know, they started the season ranked, and they have eventually gone out of the top 25 rankings, which is something that has not happened for an Oregon team in a long time. Like, Oregon has been a perennially top 25 ranked team, more so a top 10 ranked team over the last, you know, 7 or 8 years or whatever. But at least top 25 over the last, like, you know, 15 years. And now it's just, like, slowly slipping away. So until, you know, unless they do something very quickly, this thing, you know, this ship could be, you know, going right straight into the iceberg with no way out. And so, yeah. Call me disgruntled if you want, and I totally am. Like, there may or may not be alcohol in my future for the remainder of the evening. I don't know. But it has certainly been a weird fucking day in the world of college football. I can tell you that right now. I think, you know, if there's one redeeming quality of the day, is that Florida State, good old John James Jimbo Fisher, got his motherfucking ass just, like, sliced off with like one of those like deli meat slicers that they use at Arby's. He got that thing just sliced off very thin, like, multiple times, and they got just fucking pasted by Louisville. That was the redeeming quality of my life today. Because obviously I wasn't going to get it in the form of my favorite team winning a damn game. Because, you know, why the hell would they ever do that? So that was that. At least they lost today. I think there was another... Oh, Iowa lost to North Dakota State today. That was amazing. That was one of the great things that happened today. North Dakota State, the little engine that could from Division II football, is now like they're like 7-0 in their last 7 games against, like, Division I, like, Power 5 schools, which is insane. This is North Dakota. North Dakota, the place where, you know, nobody important lives outside of their football program, apparently, because no team can beat them. And, like, we're even talking ranked teams. Like, Iowa was ranked like number, I don't even know what they were ranked, maybe like number somewhere like around like between 7 and 15. Like, they were a very well-ranked program, and they totally shit the bed and lost to these guys, which I'm sure, you know, I can feel their pain, but they're obviously feeling like to a worse extent because they lost to a Division II school. But I guarantee you the hashtag Fire Ferentz is all over the place, because Kirk Ferentz is, like, notorious for losing strange games like this every once in a while. And, like, the other one that would have been almost equally as awesome would have been Colorado beating Michigan. Like, that one was a thing that was almost happening. Colorado has been perennially terrible for a long time. Like, ever since Cordell Stewart left the building, they have been just a steaming pile of rotting anal cavity on the front doorstep of college football for a long time. But they've been slowly getting better for X amount of years. Like, they've been giving teams, you know, better and better games as time has gone on. I think like last year, even though they were still really bad record-wise, I think their average margin of defeat was like 2.5 points. So it's like they're still a dumpster fire, but they're a much more, you know, they're a much more acceptable one. They're a dumpster fire that's on the verge of only being just like a regular garbage can fire, you know? They're like graduating to better versions of trash fires. Oh yeah, there it is. And like they were at one point, they were beating Michigan, number 4 Michigan. They were beating them like 21-7, and everybody was just like, "Holy shit! Sound the alarms! Like we're about to be heading into DEFCON 5 here in a moment." and like they were giving them a game, even though Michigan stormed back. Like Colorado still, I think, was leading at one point, like 35-28. In like the 3rd or 4th quarter or something, but Michigan finally decided, you know, they were going to wake up and play the game, and they ended up beating them like 45 to, you know, 30 something or whatever. So it was interesting though. That was a very strange experience to watch. That's going to be a double play. Good. Very good. Yeah. It's all right. Still winning though. We're looking okay. I think Harry can go one more inning before we bring in the relief. He's not really outside of that one long drive. He's holding serve over there. But yeah, man, it's been something. It has been something. Like Tennessee struggled with Ohio today, and let's see, there was something else that was. Oh, even like Kentucky. Even though Kentucky's been kind of shit in the SEC for a while, they're still a Power 5 school that had a top 25 recruiting class. Like New Mexico State, a team that has been more or less completely, you know, fucking awful for as long as I can remember. That game was like 45-45 at one point, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that New Mexico State, a team that I'm pretty sure has had at least 1 or 2 like 0-12 seasons, possibly in the last, you know, 15 years. Totally gave those guys a game. They may even have won the game. I don't even know. I stopped looking at scores after a while because, you know, my rage was boiling over. I was like, my rage was basically like Dark Souls level while watching that game. It was definitely not simply lemonade. It was like, you know, simply fucking curdled milk or something. That's good. That's dropping. That's dropping. That's gotta be dropping. That's wow. Jeez. Didn't realize that was Mike Trout over there. Or something. Let's put Cedric out there. We need to... Actually, you know... no, you know, we'll have Cedric in for 1 inning and then we'll bring in Marley for 2. It'll be like a setup job. Oh, shit. That was the hardest ground ball I think I've ever seen. But it's okay. It was probably one of the only examples you'll ever see of a guy, you know, hitting a... Oh, boy. Okay. Of a guy hitting a ground ball all the way to the fence and only getting a single out of it. Boy, all the bloopers right now. Jesus, give me a break. Can we just have, like, a single thing that isn't insane here? There we go. That's the one. Okay. Let's put this thing away. You know, I got Gus Polinski coming up here. I just got done eating, like, 14 bagels out of the moving van, and he... Oh, not quite. I'm gonna say, he comes out after eating a couple tons of bagels and Oreos and goes and slaps a home run with his newfound carb-laden energy. But now we got one here, maybe. Maybe not. Boy, those things are just dying off. This is definitely not your, not Coors Field if there were to be anything to be had out of that. So yeah, basically you can say I'm upset. I am not a happy camper. I am definitely not a happy camper. It sucks, man. Like Oregon, they're a great program, but they always find ways to just like totally shit the bed and lose games that they should not be losing. Like they did it last year. They got blown the hell out by Utah, and you know they were probably gonna lose that game anyways. But they lost that game like 62-20, not even acceptable at all. And then they lost to Washington State, a team that earlier in that season totally lost to Portland State. Totally not acceptable either. And then obviously like the most unacceptable version of all of those last year was when they lost to TCU. I talked about that already on this show, you know, last year, or actually I guess it would have been really early this year. Totally, yeah. But that's kind of like the microcosm of Oregon football. Like, they'll win a ton of games that are, like, super impressive. And then they'll just have, like, that weird, egregious, like, what in the hell is this type of thing. And then, you know, you end up scratching your head for the rest of eternity. But what do you do? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I thought I was going to get over him. Had that been against the lovely ladies, that would have been a triple. Or maybe even potentially an inside-the-park home run. That is absolutely gone. That is... Yep. It got over the wall by literally, like, one of the threads on the seam there. Like, there was not a pixel left between that and the wall. But hey, at least we got another home run, though, so that was pretty cool. Oh, my God! Well, you couldn't have overrun that thing any worse than that. That was terrible. And hilarious. And now he's gonna get thrown out. Oh, my God! You couldn't have made that any closer than that. And now here comes Marley the Devil. Ooh. God, what if one of my pitchers hits a home run? How awesome would that be? That would be the absolute shit if he was able to pull it off. He's never gonna do it. But that would be great. Yeah, oh no! Oh God, we're toast. Yeah, we're toast. For some reason I thought maybe he was gonna be able to run fast enough to get there, but I stand corrected. Somebody's gotta be doing some speed drills at some point. Well, I guess one thing that we can kind of end the sporting talk on, it just popped into my head, actually. So, like, the Paralympics are going on right now. Actually, a pretty interesting thing. You are totally out at second. No, you're not. A pretty interesting thing going on in the Paralympics right now. I know that, you know, the audience for that is obviously much smaller. But, oh boy. Oh, okay, I was like, God, if he hits a home run right now, we could lose this game. We cannot let that happen. We must strike him out. Ooh. Come on. Give him the gas face. Okay, that was bad. I'm trying to kind of control this a little too much. There we go. And a double play. Perfect. Is that it? Ooh, okay. Alright, let's keep the clean sheet here, ladies and gentlemen. And by that, I mean we're not going to. God damn it. Anywho. So, in the Paralympics, I think it was for the 5,000 meter, possibly? Or maybe the 25. I think it was the 5,000 meter. It was one that actually the University of Oregon, Matt Centerbits, totally got the gold in that. And I guess in this particular run of the 5,000 meter, the people that, or the guy that finished first in that totally ran a time that was faster than the guy from the regular Olympics. He actually, the guy in the Paralympics outran the gold medalist from the regular Olympics. I read that and I was like, holy shit. And he got him by like a solid 2 or 3 seconds too. Which, that's crazy impressive, man. Like, you gotta take your hat off to that sometimes. Like, it's astonishing. Like, even though, you know, these people are quote-unquote impaired, you know, some of the time, I guess. Even though they're impaired, these athletes are fucking crazy good, man. Like, they beat the guys that are in peak physical condition that are, you know, not considered impaired at all. And these people went out and totally ran faster than they did. It's amazing. It's super cool. So yeah, thought I'd just throw that in there real quick. Kind of your random, obscure, awesome fact of the day. So who needs something? I can tell you one guy that needs something. It's probably Gus. Gus is not very fat. Well, let's see. Who needs? Hector could use some defense. He's looking pretty bad there. He actually... Oh, wait, no. Balzac is a bench guy. So... Okay, he's looking pretty good. He's also looking pretty good. But Buzz could use some stuff. Yeah, okay. So he could use running. 2 in running, actually. He could use 1 in there and 1 there. Perfect. Alright. I don't suppose I... Oh, I do. Okay, we got enough for just 1 more. We've been frugal enough for, you know, for a while here. I think we can do something with this. Let's go up on defense with him. And then, perhaps 1 in hitting, and then 1 prestige. There we go. Looking good. Looking good, my friends. Alright, well, my fire has worn down a little bit, and you know, I think I needed an outlet to just kind of let out the frustration a little bit of my team totally laying a fat turd out in Lincoln, Nebraska. And so when we come back on the next installment of Sports Sunday, where we talk about sports life and everything in between, it's going to be the final game against the Ghastly Monsters, and at that point we will hopefully be staring 30-0 right in the face. But for now we're 29-0, and that's good enough for today. So when we come back, we're going to do that. I hope you guys have all had a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.